you're moving to Sacramento, you have to learn about Rancho Cordova. It is one of the hottest and fastest growing areas in the Sacramento metro. If you're looking for affordability, if you're looking for location, if you're looking for schools, this is one of those spots you definitely need to learn about. Grab a cup of coffee and let's get into it. Let's talk a little Rancho Cordova, California in the Sacramento metro. All right, if you like Rancho, if you want to get all the little details about Rancho, we are going to be hitting it today. We got Google World. We got like all these apps that are going to show us about the house prices. We even got stuff like this that I pulled up for you guys. Fun things like where Costco is located, where the shopping is, schools, Kaisers and everything too. So this is going to be like down deep into Rancho for everybody who's like interested to move in Rancho, heard about it, doesn't really know that much about it. We're going to be hitting it all, guys. So this is going to be long. So I'd say like get a cup of coffee and get ready. Now, there are some elephants in the room about Rancho. Number one, the biggest elephant is a rendering plan. I'm going to have a link about it down below so you guys can check it out. I've never had issues with it, but some people have. So I would just say take a look at it and make the judgment for yourself. Number two is there are some power towers out in Rancho as well too, especially in the Anatolia area, and we'll go over that a little bit later as well too. So just kind of be aware of. Now the good news though is you're on SMUD, the Sacramento Municipal Utility District, which is half the price of PG&E, and we don't get really blackouts, which is nice. So let's dive right into it. This is where Rancho is. It's about 25 minutes from Sacramento, right up to 50. Rancho is kind of fun, you know, like if you look at it right here, you kind of got like some power players right by it. It's coming up to 50. Sacramento downtown is right here, and there you go. And Rancho isn't just this. I mean, Rancho is kind of like it just goes, right? You're going to have a piece of Rancho on one side of the 50. You're going to have another piece of Rancho on the other side of the 50. And then you're going to have it over here. And this is kind of like, as you're going to see, like right over here, here's Folsom. And here's where they're building all the new homes in Folsom. And there's like what's called a White Rock right here that brings you over there as well too. Now, I know I talk a lot about it on my lives that we're going to do a connector all the way to Elk Grove, which should happen eventually. And I'm sorry about the scribbles, but this is kind of Rancho kind of in a nutshell. Let me delete this stuff as well too so it clears out a little bit. So like I said, Rancho is kind of an interesting one. And we're going to go over some of the schools. We're going to go over some of the shopping. Gold River also technically is in the zip code of Rancho as well too. So just so you guys know as well about that. Now let's go into some of the more of the maps and let's kind of dive right in, I guess you could say. First Google World. Here we go. All right. So Rancho, like I mentioned, it's a nice area. Like I said, there's a lot of different little hubs. There's a lot of different housing styles as well too, close to the American River, super close to Folsom as well too. And one of the things I like about Rancho specifically is its distance to Folsom. I think for the most part, like what you're going to notice is that the price point in Rancho can vary. Like right over here, kind of closer to downtown, you're going to see houses that, you know, are in the like 500s, you know, or in the like 400s, high 400s. They're older homes, you know what I mean? They're nice, don't get me wrong, but they're like older homes. They're kind of ranch style homes. Kind of a little bit like what you'd see in the Rosemont area. 3 and 2s can get you in the 400s, even at time 4 and 2s, but the 4 and 2s tend to be a little bit more of the older school floor plans, something like this, okay? And like I said, this is going to be your typical stuff that you're going to see right on the 50, kind of like when you're like coming up and you're just entering the Rancho area. And so these are kind of just your standard kind of houses over here, which, you know, like I said, they're really, really nice. And the price point tends to be really, really decent over here as well too. And that's one of the reasons why I like the Rancho kind of area. Now, as far as schools go, it's kind of a little bit of a cluster here. There's 3 different schools that you're going to be accessing as far as it goes. Now, let's get a little bit more. Now, in Gold River tends to be probably the most pricey area in the Rancho area here. And let me see if we can pull up some houses. Boom. There we go. Gold River tends to go maybe median home prices around $700,000. And, you know, you got the Gold River Elementary over there. I mean, Gold River Discovery. These are the Brown Powell homes as well, too. Oh, man, I don't know what's going on with my laptop. But for the most part, Gold River is a part of Rancho in the same zip code. A lot of people get confused about that, I know. But for the most part, that's kind of what you're looking at. The 50 right now at this current time is a little bit of a cluster because we're doing a lot of construction. So this 26 minutes will get a little lighter as we expand the freeways and the freeway construction gets done. So I'd say normally before all this construction happened, it took me about 20 minutes to get to downtown. It's not that bad. Like I said, Rancho is kind of a big part. And what you're going to notice right here as well, too, is you have the Rancho that's next to Carmichael and Fair Oaks. Gold River is technically part of Rancho as well, too. And then you have Anatolia, which is where we talk about that has all the new home buildings. Now, Anatolia is a master plan community. It was built around 2006. Really nice price points, big houses and everything, too. During the whole bust era of real estate, it kind of slowed down and then it kind of picked up. You have all these builders building out there right now. You got like Woodside, you got what's called KB, just started a community out there. You got Lennar, you got Elliott, you got K-Hov, you got all these builders building out there. Now, one of the things that I love about this area for the most part is the price point. If someone's looking to get a house in the 500s, Folsom, you're not going to be able to do it. El Dorado Hills, you're not going to be able to do it. And there's only select areas of the Sacramento metro that you'd want to look at, or you could look at. You'd look at Antelope. You'd look at, I think it's KB out there, Antelope at KB. You look at West Roseville, and you'd look at Rancho, and then maybe Vineyard. Those are the areas that, for the most part, you can get still something around 500. And so, like, you got Woodside right here, and Woodside is a nice builder, right? As far as in this area, the only thing I'm not a big fan of Woodside specifically is that their their Melrose tend to be higher than most in the area. Woodside has been building in the Anatolia and the Rancho area for a long, long time, and they have, I think, 4 communities right now. The nice thing about their communities as well, too, is they're kind of like all down the same row. So it's like the first one is the smallest homes, the second one is the second, and it goes up and up. They build all sorts of floor plans. Now, the one thing about Woodside that I really like is every single year they pretty much win like floor plan of the year. They have some of the best floor plans, and they always get awards for the floor plans. Like I said, though, as far as Melrose goes, they're the highest right now that I've seen in the Rancho area. And they are also pretty much higher than any of the builders I've seen at Folsom. So the Melrose, as far as if you're looking for like pricing, other builders are pretty much like the same, but Woodside, for some reason, because they started building, is higher than most. And like I said, Woodside is nice. As far as I know, there's no HOAs in the Woodside community. I could be might be a little wrong on that one, but the ones I've gone into have basically said there's no HOAs. Then the next builder is Pulte Homes. Pulte Homes I like. I think Pulte Homes is a good builder. For Pulte, we got a $25 HOA, and they have, I think, around $300 for the Melrose. They're building, like I said, in the 700s. They have every single stuff. Now, Pulte, I would say, is probably a mid-level builder. I think they build some good stuff. I think if you're looking for something with a lot more bedrooms, Pulte is the builder for you. What I've seen more than not is that some of the houses like that other builders are building, like their Taylors and your Woodside, they'll build like a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's like 3,000 square feet. Where Pulte will go in kind of the reverse, and they'll build like a 3,000 square foot home, but you could actually have additional bedrooms. So if you're someone who's saying, you know what, I want to get a 3,000 square foot house, but I got some more family members to move in and I want some extra bedrooms, Pulte is definitely the builder I would be looking at. Because like I said, I mean, imagine this. We're talking about like, you know, a nice big house here, not too big, but we're talking like 625, and you can go up to 7 bedrooms. That's one of the things, the versatile things I love about Pulte, with the fact that you can go bigger on bedrooms. A lot of people, you know, we love the great room concept. We love all that space, but it's sometimes you want extra bedrooms for extra kids coming in or family members. So Pulte is that builder. Pulte's building there as well too. They have their Melrose, and they also have HOAs, just to let you know. Tri-Point Homes has, I think, 3 communities out there. One of the communities, I believe, has an HOA, and the other ones have Melrose. I think that they're right now are offering probably not the top incentive, but one of the tops. Now, as we speak, the time of this video, so all can change with pricing and everything too, is they're offering 6% off the purchase price to go towards closing costs or towards buying down your rate, which is great. So right now, even on houses, this is the rare thing about Tri-Point right now is they're actually offering these buy downs and incentives on houses that haven't even been built yet. And they're the one community that's actually doing it. So if you're someone who's saying, you know what, I want a house in February or March, and you realize that all this incentive money is going towards like the stuff that's ready to go right now, Tri-Point is that one community that'll give you some good incentives for house they're actually building further on out. Now, like I said, with Tri-Point though, they have 3 communities, and one of their communities, I forget which one, has an HOA and the other 2 do not, but all 3 have Mello-Roos. Tri-Point is the latest builder that's been out there right now. Now, also to note, Cressley Homes, they're finishing up and they have a few models left. Beazer is set to start building there as well too. Now, the 2 builders I'm not going to go into too much today is Elliott Homes, who builds a nice solid home, and Lennar, which I don't even really like to talk about too much, as you guys probably know. Sorry, Lennar is just not really one of my things. So, okay, so we got that. Now we got K-Hov. K-Hov, I put a lot of people in the K-Hov houses. Now, the thing I like about the K-Hov houses, one is I think they're offering some of the best incentives in Rancho currently. They're offering like 3.5 interest rates, 3.9 interest rates. You have to go FHA, but a lot of my clients are loving the interest rates right now. And this is only on basically the standing inventory that's happening right now by K-Hov. So the company in general, I think, put like $200-300 million to actually buy down these rates. So it's a fantastic promotion, and it's only on the standing inventory. Go say hi to Heba, who works there. She's fantastic. The homes are great, and they have a bunch of communities. Now, one of the reasons why, Sagebrush is actually my favorite. This is a single-story community, low 600s. You can definitely get some standing inventory. Paseo I like as well too. That's probably the most kind of like economical house out there. And what is it? What's the other one I like? But Sagebrush, the single story, I really, really liked. They really did nice on the updates on the ones that are ready to go. I like Montrose. I think it's pretty good as well too. And Canyon is one of their bigger area floor plans as well too, or communities. Now, the thing about K-Hov, and what I love about K-Hov, is the fact that they've got an additional 3 communities that are going to be releasing. So K-Hov right now came in, and they were the first community that was actually building in the Anatolia Rancho area that for the most part was like, we're going to go in the low 5s. That's where we're going to hit. Before that, if you went to Anatolia and that part of Rancho, for the most part, you'd be looking at maybe like 6.5, 7 and everything too. The builders that were building there were like Cressley, Woodside, and Premier Homes. But K-Hov came in, undercut them, created a little bit more affordable housing in that area of Rancho, and they've been doing fantastic. So I would say if I was looking for something for 500-ish, something new. Now, granted, a lot of these homes aren't going to give you that huge backyard, and the density is going to be there. But at the same time, as far as getting a rate at 3.5 or 3.9 currently right now in this market, like, it's not a bad thing. And so for me, like a lot of people that we've shown these houses to, the only thing about K-Hov they're not a big fan of is they do have an HOA and they do have Mello-Roos. A lot of people aren't really high on the HOA things because everyone is hearing that HOA prices are going to go up. So K-Hov does have HOAs and they do have Mello-Roos, just to let you guys know. But they have nice communities. Now, like I said, they have 3 more communities up and coming that are be coming up later on, I think in 2025 and 2026, which makes them a great builder to give you incentives. I don't think the incentives are going to stop. I think they're going to continue because they want to release these 3 new communities. So I think, honestly, it's one of the hottest buys right now in Rancho, K-Hov. I think I sold it to investors. I sold it to first-time home buyers. The other thing, too, is, and just to get into it a little bit here, is the fact that, let's see if we can pop up in the map, is the fact that because Anatolia is so close to where they're building all the stuff, and like I said, it's going to be right down in the lower corner. Over here, they're building so close to Folsom Ranch that in between the Folsom Ranch area and in between the Anatolia area, they're set to build like another middle school, elementary school, and high school. And they're also going to be creating a big, huge like sports arena. So Anatolia and this area of Rancho that they're building new homes on is going to be something that's kind of almost going to merge in with Folsom. And at the end of the day, if we do that connector between Elk Grove and Folsom, it could be a really, really great spot to buy. I like the Anatolia area. I think, like I said, I think it's an up and coming area. I think a lot of people haven't heard of it. And I think it's a great buy just because a lot of people are going to the Folsom route. Now let's see if we got any more. We got Pulte, boom. What else we got? We got Tri-Point, we got River Blossom. They've got a lot of builders. We got Khov, we got Elliott out there too. We got Lennar out there as well too. Cressley is actually selling out, like I mentioned, and Cressley does not have HOAs, but they do have Melrose. Now let's get into the schools as well too, and this is something that's big. Now in the area that I mentioned, like the area where is it? Like right over here. This is the Elk Grove Unified School District, and as you could tell right now, based on like where Rancho is, the tippy corner over here that just comes into the Elk Grove Unified School District, that's where all the new homes are being built. So if you're someone who's basically saying, oh man, I love Khov, I love Elliott Homes, I like Lennar, I like whatever you like, you're going to actually be in the Elk Grove Unified School District. There's a good and a bad to this, right? Everyone loves Elk Grove schools. The only thing about these schools, though, to be aware of is they're not right there. The high schools, the middle schools are far away. So the drive can be as much as 25 minutes away. So you do have access to good schools. It's just the fact that traffic could get a little worse and the distance could be a little bit out there. So this is the Elk Grove Unified School District. Like I said, a lot of people who move into the Sacramento area like Elk Grove schools, and I would say go to greatschools.org. I'll have a link in the description so you can take a look at them yourself. Schools tend to be a little subjective, so I like to create the link there. I would say you can type in addresses, builders, and they're going to show you which school districts they're in. Okay, so Elk Grove tends to be one of the school districts that's attached to Rancho, and only that specific area of Anatolia Rancho over there. Now, next one is the Folsom Cordova Unified School District. Now, as you can see right here, everything other than that area that I mentioned to you before, as you can see, like Magnolia is right on Elk Grove. So all this area right here in Rancho, for the most part, except for Gold River, is in the Folsom Cordova Unified District. I know we got like 3 school districts in Rancho. So this is something that I would definitely go to greatschools.org and see how the ranking is and see if you like it. But this is the second school district right here. Okay, so the third one is this one, San Juan. And this is the crazy part about this one is literally the only district or the only area of Rancho is Gold River that's included in this school district. So like I said, for most people when they're coming into a new area, they really kind of want to know about the schools and everything too. So this is kind of the breakdown in schools in the Rancho area. Like I said, it's interesting. Gold River is this master plan community. Anatolia is a master plan community as well too out here. And this is kind of how I mean it. Like whenever I talk about like the Anatolia area, it's kind of all around this because there are a lot of all these new communities that are being built aren't technically part of Anatolia Village. This is Anatolia Village. This was built like in 2006. It's beautiful big houses, medium price point in there is like 800 or something. And these houses, for the most part, there's about 2,000 of them. There's like an HOA, there's a swimming pool, there's all that stuff too. So I call it Anatolia because in the Sacramento area, if you mention Anatolia, people will know about where you're talking about. So this is kind of Anatolia Village. Like I say, Anatolia Village, the medium home price is like a little over 800. Currently, I think it's probably a little under 800 too, but that's kind of why when Khov came in and started building in the 500s, a lot of people were like, they weren't really enthusiastic about it, but the area is developing and growing so nicely. All those Melrose, you're going to see additional schools and parks. The community vibe there is so nice. I mean, my daughter, she has soccer practice out there as well too, and it's really, really a nice area. Okay, so this is Braden. Now, this is the tech center I've been kind of talking to you guys about. Now, this is going to be close to 3,000 acres, and it's going to be this like green imprinted kind of area in the Cordova Hills, kind of right in the Anatolia area and Rancho area. And they're building it. It's going to be close to 3,000 acres, and it's going to be like a work, play, community environment. This is basically kind of like the footprint of what they want our area to be like, where it's going to be like everything is going to be walking, everything is going to be bicycle, there's going to be not a lot of cars. It's going to be a spot where they're going to have employers there, people are going to work, people are going to live, the community is going to be there, which I think is kind of interesting right there. In the middle is going to be right here is going to be like offices, it's going to be community, heart, network, it's going to be everything, which is just nuts. And this is going to be specifically in the Rancho Cordova area. How do I think this is going to affect property prices? I think that this is going to be fantastic for the Rancho area. I will say this also, I do think that they are going to use select builders to build in this community when it starts happening. And the project was green lighted, and it's going to be amazing that Rancho got this. They've had the land for a while, so they started building it. Now, what's called close to 3,000 acres. It's going to be basically a green community, which is kind of fun to watch. And this is kind of where it's going to lay out. So you got Sacramento, you got Roseville, you got Folsom, and you got Rancho. And this is where Braden, California in Rancho is going to be. So I'm kind of ecstatic, and this is kind of what it's going to look like. So if you're someone who's moving into Rancho and you're kind of wondering what the future of Rancho is going to be like, this could be it. And this is kind of one of the reasons why I'm so high on the Rancho area, because of what's happening to it. And I think that if you are someone who's looking to move into Sacramento, if you're someone who maybe doesn't really know the area that well, I think something like this is kind of motivating as far as like, this is what my area is going to look like in the future. And like I said, the project has been greenlighted, it's ready to go, and it's just waiting. So that's kind of fun. Now let's get into a little bit of this. Okay, so here are some areas that I kind of wanted to highlight for you guys to know. Now, in red is basically the Rancho area. Over here is all the new homes. This is kind of older Rancho, and at the tip that's over there, that's Gold River. Now, these are some spots you definitely need to know about. Over here, you got Folsom Lake. Nice attraction. You got the lake. You can go boating. There's like a lot of sightseeing, photography, and everything too. Folsom Lake is just one of the hugest attractions there. And you're not too far away from it. I'd say maybe like a 15-minute drive and you're good to go. Now, let's go to the next one. Boom. The Palladio. Okay, the Palladio is in Folsom, and it's where you're going to find like Whole Foods. You're going to find some nice restaurants. You're going to find some like movies and all that stuff too. It's really like a high-end kind of mall. I'd say it's about a 12-minute drive. You can even take the back roads actually from Anatolia out there in Rancho. And that's going to be like primarily where you're going to be doing a lot of like their Whole Food shopping, maybe going out to eat, going to see movies and everything too, about 12 minutes away in Folsom. Like I said, guys, Rancho, especially that part of Rancho that's near the Anatolia Village, is super close to Folsom. You can even take the back roads to get there. All right, the next one is, boom, Folsom Ranch. All right, like I mentioned, guys, Folsom Ranch is not really that far from Rancho at all. In the back roads, I've seen people go there in about 10 minutes. Now, why am I always harping on Folsom Ranch? Well, the idea right now in Folsom Ranch is they're putting in a total, it'll be about 30,000 homes. They're putting in 3 additional schools. They already put an elementary school. Folsom is a powerhouse, so it always is nice to be next to a powerhouse that's growing, appreciation, house prices, and just growing like crazy. Folsom is going to be a monster in the future. In fact, it's becoming a destination city, and living in Rancho, especially that area, if you decide to buy a new home, it's nice to be close to something like that. And like I said, between Folsom Ranch and Anatolia, or that Rancho area, is where you're going to find the schools being built, the new ones. All right, over here. All right, we already did Palladio. Boom. Over here, you got the outlets. And I don't know if you guys like outlet shopping or not, but Folsom outlets are fantastic. You got Gap, you got Banana Republic, you have, what else? You got Michael Kors, you got like Polo, you got all that stuff over here too. So if you like outlet shopping, that's where you're going to go. Now let's get a little closer to here. Okay, so over there, boom. You got the Anatolia area, like I mentioned. Here are all the builders as well too. Really, really nice. And like I said, it's not too far from all these other spots. Right here, one of my favorite spots, it's Costco. It's about maybe 8 minutes away, and it's in the heart of Rancho. So no matter where you live in Rancho, you're probably about 8 or 10 minutes away from Costco. Get some gasoline, and that's where a lot of people go for shopping. Now over here, boom. All right, hold on, boom. All right, is Kaiser. A lot of people, when they move to places, they want to know how close they are to a Kaiser, to medical. Now, one is we do have a Kaiser in Folsom, but the Kaiser in Rancho is super close access. No matter where you live in Rancho, Kaiser is pretty much kind of smack dab in the middle. So Kaiser's right there. It's another big provider of jobs. If you're someone, maybe a nurse, and you want to come to Sacramento and you're thinking jobs, we got Intel in Folsom. We got Kaiser's on every street corner. We got state jobs as well too. But Kaiser, for anyone who's thinking that they need to be close to a hospital, we got a Kaiser right there. Now, the other nice thing about Folsom Ranch is they're putting like a UC Davis medical campus over there, and they're putting Dignity as well too. So it's going to be a nice area. And so if you're someone who's moving in for either a job in the medical area, in the medical field, or if you want to be kind of close to like a Kaiser, there you go. All right, here we go. And then here we go. We got Target over here. Now, Target, as you could tell, is kind of in the heart also of Rancho. You got Target over there. You got Michael's. You got Marshall's. You got all these stores as well too, about maybe 12 minutes away. If you have from the new homes, from Gold River, it's about maybe 8 minutes away, and it's in the heart of Rancho as well too. Now, for all you people who like different foods, KP International Market is like one of those spots that everybody loves. If you love like getting fresh fish, if you like making your own sushi, if you like getting some select kind of like, international wines or beverages, this is where you go. It's a great store. They've got some karaoke there that's fantastic. It's definitely a fun place to go. All right, where else we got? Boom. All right, Movement Brewery. Now, I did this short a little while ago, but one of the things about Rancho that a lot of people don't know is Rancho has this area. It's called the Barrel District. You got Movement Brewery, you got Flaming Barrel, and you got like 5 or 6 other breweries right there too. So if you're someone who's saying to yourself, like, I like the idea of moving to Rancho or somewhere that's a suburb, but I want stuff to do. There's a whole bunch of stuff to do in Rancho. Not only is the community vibe very strong in all parts of Rancho, like I'm talking to like movie nights, I'm talking about like events, I'm talking about like kind of like, how can I say this, like stores and businesses that cater to kids, but there's also like breweries, and they're not like crazy, like, going out there and just nuts. But if you are in Rancho next time, go over to the Barrel District and check out some of those areas and some of those like locations like Movement. You're going to see how fun it is. So we definitely have our fun spots here too. Now, those are the stores, and that's kind of the shopping in the area as well too for you guys. Like for me, if I'm moving into an area, no matter where it is, I want to know where the shopping is. I want to kind of know like what's around me. A lot of people, if they go out to look at new homes, especially in the Rancho area, it feels like it's in the middle of nowhere, right? You go out there and you're basically like there. And you're saying to yourself, man, I don't know what's out there. You do have some stuff really kind of close by. Also, you have back roads that'll take you to Folsom, take you to the Vineyard area, take you to Elk Grove. And so it's a really one of those spots that in the Sacramento area that's just growing. And yeah, no one likes Mello-Roos, but with all the houses being built out there, the Mello-Roos are just chipping in. Everyone's going to go out there, and all of a sudden the area is going to develop and grow very, very nicely. Now, let's talk a little price point as well too. If you're looking for an older home in the Rancho area, let's say coming up to 50, I would say like in the 400s, you're definitely there. 500s, you're probably there as well too, somewhere. If you're looking for the new homes, I would say the most affordable builders for the new homes right now are probably going to be Khov, just as far as like the amount for the house. Now I would say the builders who are looking to give you the best incentives right now, easily TriPoint, easily Khov. If you're looking for something that's a nice, like, something that's a little bit higher level of like a home, let's say with the finishes and everything that they offer, I would say you'd be looking at maybe like a Woodside, or you'd be looking at Cressley. Cressley is one of my favorite builders out there. I don't know if they're going to build anymore. Now, that, like I mentioned before earlier in this video, Beazer is going to be showing their face in the Rancho area as well too. So that's something that everyone's really excited about. Prices have gone up in Sacramento. I want to keep it at 500. I want to be somewhere where it's central to everything. And Rancho kind of fits that bill. You're still close to stuff like walking trails, like mountain bike riding. You're close to areas like Folsom where you have your shopping. You have 3 different school districts that you can pick which schools, where you want to live and where you want your kids to go to school. But one of the things about Rancho that separates it from areas like Citrus, like Fair Oaks, like Orangevale, is Rancho tends to be very centrally located. Yes, it's going to feel a little further away if you're like close to Anatolia Village, but for the most part, Rancho tends to be central. You're quick shot down to downtown. You're close to Folsom. You can hit Sunrise and go over Roseville as well too. So Rancho does have a lot of benefits. I actually think the reason why Rancho and that like new homes, the price points are a lot lower is because so much attention has been put on like Folsom, Rockland, and Roseville. But I do think one of the best bangs for your buck, if you're looking for a new home, if you're looking to move into an area, is a Rancho area. But I will also tell you one thing though, you've got to know Rancho or work with a realtor that knows Rancho. It is very, very different. Gold River is completely different than Anatolia. The Rancho area straight up is completely like, you got to know where the pockets of houses are. There's some pockets right after Kaiser that almost looks like a kind of like a doppelganger of Gold River. Some of the houses are newer. Some of the houses are ranch style, parks, schools, all that kind of fun stuff. So I'd say if you're working with a realtor, make sure that they know the area. And hopefully this video kind of helped you guys out a little bit to kind of get to know Rancho a little bit better. Sorry if I've been a little long-winded, but I kind of wanted to give you a detailed idea of Rancho. I live in Gold River, so technically I do live in Rancho, and I like the area. Like I said, for me, being central to all these other spots in Sacramento is fantastic. I can shoot up to Apple Hill during the winter time. I can shoot to Roseville like I did this morning really, really quick as well too. Downtown is where my office is, and I can get down there in about 23 minutes usually. So for me, the central location is fantastic. I love being close to the water as well too. You got Trader Joe's, you got Whole Foods up in Folsom, you got Home Goods, you got Target, you got Costco, you got pretty much everything you possibly could want. So if you're someone who's maybe thinking about like Sacramento, and you're saying to yourself, like, I want to figure out where this Rancho area is located, reach out to my team. We can definitely give you a nice tour of Rancho. Like I said, not all Rancho is created equally, and you're going to feel in some parts that it's a whole different area of Rancho, but it's a really nice spot. And like, I definitely think you should check it out if you're thinking about making the move to Sacramento. Hopefully this video helped, guys. And that's it. The video's done. So hopefully the coffee is gone, and we're on to the next city, the next video. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video on Rancho Cordova, California. If you're moving to Sacramento, you definitely need to check out Rancho. Also, guys, took a lot of time to get this presentation ready for you. So throw me a like, comment, question. I will answer all of them. And also feel free to tune in every Wednesday at 7 p.m. live on this channel, where we go live and we talk about the Sacramento real estate market. And if you are moving to Sacramento, you're thinking about moving to Sacramento, bring your questions and your coffee. I'd love to see you there. Until next video, guys, this is Mark. Have a good one.